Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Indian Racing League. This is the season finale of Division 2 in Hungary. This is the last race of the season. It would have been probably held earlier in the season, but we had some lobby issues, which is why we are having this race again. And in the comms box with me tonight, as has been in the previous few races, is someone who got attacked by a rat during the week. Is Shadow Sword or Nirvan. Shadow or Nirvan, how are you doing?
Hey, Malav, how are you? I'm good. I'm buzzing for this race actually.
Yeah, it is a season finale after all, and while our championship for the constructors is decided, but the drivers championship just 9 points between the top two right now, with HEP leading Azun with just 9 points, so that is yet to be decided, and let's hope for a cracker of a race.
So that means basically HVP just has to finish in the points ahead of Azun to take this, right?
Yeah, if he finishes ahead of Azun, definitely he'll take it, and he basically needs to Azun needs to outscore him by more than 9 points to win this race. I have an Excel in front of me so that we can try to see what's going on in the championship, especially if HVP is behind Azun at any point in the race, and see what goes on. But talking about the track, Nirvan, how do you like this track, and what are some of your favorite corners, if any, on this track so far?
So I actually practiced this track after a long time for the first time yesterday, and I was so off the pace. Those plastic curves, you know what I'm talking about, the white ones?
Yep.
Absolute bane of my existence, man. So I can't say I'm too fond of this track. Not easy to overtake here.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm not too fond of it at all. But for good corners, I think there's definitely a lot. There's that one super fast left-hander where I think if you just dip your wheels into the grass a little bit, you can take it near full throttle. It feels amazing to get that right.
Absolutely, yeah, you rightly put it. It is a track which is quite difficult to overtake on, but at the same time, I think the sector 2 is my favorite section of the track. Those flowing S's, and if when you get that right, it's just a different kind of satisfaction you get from that. And
when you get it wrong, people just come storming past you.
Yeah, you can lose and gain a lot of time there. But yeah, I think the curve which you're mentioning, we call it the lava curve over here. That's the curve you are absolutely not supposed to touch, or it will just spin your car around, and that will basically ruin your lap or the race. Jinsanity, meanwhile, has put in a provisional time of 129. I'm not sure what happened there. Oxidized race with a much more representative lap time, as HVP is on a lap right now, is in the second sector, so our championship leader.
And is HVP on the mediums, or is he going on a banker with softs?
Let's see.
Oh,
yes, he started on. I mean,
a little bit of an off. Sorry.
All right. HVP is on the softs right now, and let's see what his lap time is going to be. He's gone pole, provisional pole right now with a 14.7, and it seems like he's probably thinking of starting on softs because that's a pretty rapid lap time. Not entirely sure.
I think that the strategy here today would be a mediums to hards. If you want to be safe, you know. Otherwise, you'd have to just put too many laps in on those softs or the hards at the end.
Yeah, it is possible that mediums to hards is probably the strategy of choice for a lot of people, especially outside of the top 10. But for people starting on softs, that's where the strategy will come in, and let's see what they do, because as we all know, this is a race where Hamilton basically did a two-stop in the real life and overtook Verstappen. That was one of the masterclasses in terms of strategy which Mercedes pulled off in real life. Let's see if it happens here, and let's see if someone actually tries to go for a two-stop. Don't know what's the weather like in the race. It's pretty overcast here right now. And
yeah, does anyone in the chat know about the weather in the race? VFix, are you here?
Let's see. I'm sure VFix is here, supporting and race engineering his brother Jinsanity, who's sitting in P7. But yeah, I'm sure he will put in a much faster lap time after that. Nishan, meanwhile, seems to be on a race run right now. Not entirely sure what his strategy is going to be. Maybe he'll later on put on a lap of mediums. Is going quite wide there in that corner. But let's follow Azun then. He's on his out lap, and let's see what he can pull off on those red walled soft tires.
So why don't you take us through the lap, Malav?
Right, let's do that. He's moving out of the way of an Alpha Tauri. Was it Nishan? Yeah, it was
Yes.
Nishan. But Azun preparing his lap, and he knows he has to outscore HVP by a lot of points. And not a lot of drivers have been able to do that in the past few races. But let's see if Azun can do that. Now, starting his hot lap, putting down the power on the main straight. He has Alpha Tauri of Nishan in front, who might be moving out of the way because Azun might get held up in the dirt. And Nishan definitely on a race run right now. Azun brakes for the first turn, and that's nicely done through the apex there. Avoids the exit curve, and then brakes for turn 2, goes into the third gear before putting on the power again. So far looks like a decent start to the lap, as this corner is completely flat out, and then comes one of the most favorite corners on the circuit, the blind left-hander. A lot of commitment through there. I think he still left something on the table there, not entirely going as fast as he would like to. Maybe this is just a banker for him as he now approaches the chicane, which is quite difficult to get it right if your braking is not accurate. And through the SS now does go Azun. That was nicely done, riding a lot of curb, throwing in the car and just on the limits of track. Keeps his time for now. It's a 55.3 as he crosses the second sector split. And as we then this round of the final two corners, Quick Killer meanwhile has gone on pole, but this lap from Azun, it hasn't been the best of the laps from him. I'm pretty sure he has more time in his bag, but let's see, it puts him, he's weaving across the line. It's just P8 for now, definitely much more time in that lap.
I think that is an indicator, the weaving rather, that he's probably planning to go out on the mediums.
Yeah, it's pretty much possible that he has more fuel on board and is going out on a set of mediums later on. Meanwhile, let's see what Sid Venkatesh is doing. He's also on what seems like a race run, putting in more fuel and trying to get dialed into the track. But at the same time, I'm sure the drivers know that it's quite important qualifying over here. Track position is everything, and they might.
So,
Yeah, go
speaking
on.
of that, HVP looks like he's taking his second run on the soft, so I wonder if he's going to do his last run on the mediums or just bang it in on the softs. Because honestly, yesterday we did a simulation, and I think the softs can make it 10 laps. So if you want to do a softs to hards, I think it is possible. So I wonder if that's what HVP is looking to go for here.
Yeah, in fact, when I was speaking to him before the race, that's exactly what he said. That he's probably going to start on softs, but we don't know for sure. Maybe he'll actually show his hand on the final run. Mayank, meanwhile, another person who had a really strong start to the season. Mayank, he was leading the championship for a while as well. Won in Australia, Mayank, and now he is in a battle for P3. It's a really good battle. While we talked about a championship battle, he's in P3 right now. But Nirvan, the gaps are like really, it's just 5 point difference between P3 and P6. While Natsume is not racing tonight, so it's basically a three-way battle between Mayank, Nishan and Quick Killer for that third spot in the championship. And
Well, looks like Quick Killer's doing well for himself then.
yeah, absolutely, he was in Division 1 and then was sent to this division in Division 2 and has been doing quite well. So let's see what happens with him in this race. Mayank is now rounding out the final few corners and is coming into the pits, so probably not happy with that run. But Big Booty meanwhile has gone P4 with that effort. HVP on his lap as well, and let's see how he does on his second run. Azun on the mediums, there you go, Azun on the mediums, and he will be probably hoping to qualify on the mediums and probably get a strategy advantage.
So let's definitely ride on board with his lap once he finishes his out lap.
Yeah, he's in the pits right now. He's in the pits right now. So
HVP is 7 tenths up on his.
Yeah, I just saw that. HVP 7 tenths up. That might just put him into the 13s, and what a time would that be. Let's see how he approaches the final two corners, going down to the fourth gear before pick on the power. You have to be patient here. Uses all of the track on the exit and across the finish line. He's there. He puts in a
In the third.
13.967. So
Wow.
what a lap from HVP. That
So
would be
what's your
difficult to
prediction
beat.
for the pole time, Malav?
Well, I have absolutely no idea what kind of lap times are set on this track in qualifying. I'm really bad with that across every track, but I'm assuming 13.967 is a really good time for a
It
pole
is
position.
strong, but I know that HVP has more pace in him. I
Right.
do. I think that the if HVP goes out for a third run on softs, I think the time will be more around a 13.7 or
Right, but do you think
13.6.
do you think this pretty much confirms his strategy in terms of starting on the softs? Because
I
do you
think
think he can
so
go faster
because
on the mediums than
no,
that?
no, because the mediums on this track are at least a second and a half slower per lap, especially in quali. So I think it'll be really tough to match that on the mediums.
Good lap meanwhile by Crazy Mouse Monster in P4. What a lap from him, 15.3 on his soft tires.
So Azun
And
has just crossed the line. If you want to go right on board with him.
right, let's see. I'll stay off board. Azun is
Oh no. Oh no.
yeah, that's fine.
Azun
That's
got
I think
eliminated.
that's more or less fine. Just on the edge, as I think Big Woody was trying to exit the pits when Azun came
Oh
across.
no.
And let's see what Azun does. Do you think if this lap time is not competitive, is almost a second up by the way in his first sector, but if this lap time is not competitive, do you think it's worth trying to match HVP's track position and strategy so that he has more chances of attacking HVP in the race, or do you
You
think he'll
know,
stick to strategy?
I think so. I think there's one very good chance to overtake people on this track, and that's in the pit stops. So if Azun
Yep.
wants to outscore HVP, especially by 9 points, I think he has to do something radically different with strategy. Or hope that HVP disconnects, one of the
It has been happening for a couple of times with HVP. It happened with Azun last time around. We had a couple of major connection issues in France, which is why
two. Oh
Azun
yeah,
lost
I
that
am well aware
chance
of
of
those major connection issues.
right. Azun into P5 on those mediums, and I think he's gonna probably stay there. Nishan. Okay, finally his race run comes to an end. He's into the pits, and let's see if he actually puts in a lap time in, or is he going to do a last question mark challenge. Big Booty has left the session.
Oh
Can
no,
you invite him
I
if you
can
can,
invite
Shadow?
him
Yeah.
most definitely.
Oh, Nishan has retired from the session. Okay, so that's fine. He's probably doing a last question mark challenge as he said he might. Let's see what Mayank pulls out meanwhile on his second run. The first run was not good enough for him, at least. He pitted at the end of his hot lap, so not a time on the board right now. And 53.5 in the second sector split. Let's see what the Mercedes driver can do in the final few corners of this track.
Okay, so Big Booty is actually offline, so I hope he hasn't had a massive issue.
Oh yeah, please send him an invite nonetheless.
Yep.
Mayank across the line, and yeah, that's more like it. Mayank into the 14s. Just three people, by the way, into the 14s, and HUP obviously the only person in the 13s. So you're seeing a bit of a gap here in terms of the pace, at least in the first few runs from these drivers. Let's see what goes
And
on meanwhile.
you know, Azun as well, like with a 15.3, I think he's gonna have to do a lot better to match HVP's pace because a second slower than a 14, I don't know. I don't know. I think HVP's still got a few tenths on him, even if they were both on the softs.
Yeah, it
So,
is possible. And I spoke to Azun before this race, and he did mention that he hasn't really been practicing this weekend. For this weekend, he's probably switched to the wheel, so doesn't have that enough practice to come back to the controller pace. So that's something which might be an issue for an apparent lack of pace. Space Cadet, meanwhile, on a lap, and we have. See, he's faster. He's faster by almost 2 tenths in the first sector. So he is going to improve. Not a lot of cars on the track right now. I think the drivers are preparing for their final runs before they exit the pit lane.
Looks like Ace is making a mad dash out of the pits trying to get a lap in.
Yeah, he is one of the first drivers to start their final runs. Space Cadet, meanwhile, up by a second. This is going to be a good lap from Ace. He's probably, if he puts in a good final sector, he might jump Azun here. Let's see. It's
I
possible
think,
that he might jump Azun, and
yeah,
that's
Azun needs as many places as he can get, so he's not going to be happy looking at
yeah.
that.
He's
Oh,
behind him.
close.
That's good news for Azun. He's behind him. Thakurwa on a lap as well. He has just started his lap, so it might be a while before he finishes. There's a car. That's Ace. What's happening with Ace? He slowed down massively on the side of the track. Now getting a move on. Uh, let's see. Oh, what is Ace doing? Is he trying to let cars by? Probably that's my only explanation. Azun on another set of mediums. Azun is out on another set of mediums. Quick Killer is not improving. Quick Killer, yeah, is. I think that's his qualifying over because he has invalidated his lap time.
But
Thakurwa
we have
not
a lot of
improving.
drivers out
Yeah,
right now.
yeah,
This is
almost
going to be
every.
an
Just two
interesting
cars
finish.
in the pit lane. That's is Jinsanity. Okay, Jinsanity is out on the track. I think Teams into the pits and Nishan into the pits. Let's see then. Let's Azun in all this. He doesn't have a lot of time. He needs to get a move on if he wants to. Yeah, just 8 seconds. This is going to be really close.
Oh my god.
Azun.
I hope he makes it. 2 seconds.
Oof.
Oh my god.
That's so close from Azun, and he has made it. Timed it to
Wow.
perfection, but I would call that really, really risky. And wow, he almost made it. And Mayank is not going to make it. Oxidized is in the pits. Let's then stick with Azun here and let's see what he does with the first sector split. He's probably going to catch. He's more or less done the same first sector.
6,000's up.
Yeah, that up down 6,000 down it was, I think. But it's more or less the same first sector he did. He has a car in front which might be. Oh, he's backed out of it.
Backed out.
Yeah, he has backed out. So that's his qualifying over. Let's see what Sid Venkatesh does on his mediums run, because he's one of those drivers. He's up by 8 tenths, so still not enough to challenge the likes of Ace, who's above him by almost more than a second. Let's see what Sid does, and if he can get into the top 10 using this medium tires, that would be a good starting grid for him. Oh, that's a good jump
Yes, he
from.
does.
That's a good final sector. He jumps to P8. Quick Killer has retired. I think HP's pole is confirmed. Mayank is still on a lap, but if I'm not wrong, he started his lap maybe after the
4
checkered
tenths
flag
off.
fall on.
I
Yeah,
think he's still going though.
yeah, he might get a front row here, and he does.
P2.
Yeah, P2, good lap from Mayank. I'm not entirely sure when he started his lap, but either ways, that's the qualifying grid. I think everyone has completed the lap times. Azun in P7. That's and Jinsanity. Okay, so we completely missed that. Jinsanity, who was saving his best for the last, is the highest of the medium runners in P4 on the mediums.
Wow, that is a very, very good time actually. I was gonna say I was so surprised that only two of the top, or two or three of the top 10 were on the mediums, but it seems it's
Yeah,
kind of
three.
filled out now.
Yeah, 3 drivers on the mediums, and well, again, it seems to be some problem with the lobby or something, but our stream
No.
apparently is ahead. Well, the counter of the stream rather is ahead. Well, while we see 0 seconds on the clock, the drivers are seeing something like 30 seconds on the clock. Either ways, the grid is set. HVP and Mayank on the front row, Quick Killer behind them in P3, and Jinsanity for company on the medium tires. Oxidized Rage and Crazy Mouse Master on the third row. Azun in P7 on those medium tires, accompanied with Space Cadet in P8. Sid Venkatesh, the Ferrari, again on the mediums in P9, and Big Booty in the top 10. The drivers who will have tire choice are Thakurwa, Los Crisp, Ace, Gal, and Nishan, who was quite content with staying last on the grid, at least in qualifying. So, what do you make of that, Nirvan, in terms of a qualifying session?
I think that was very good. I think Mayank has put on a good performance for us today. If I remember in the last few races, he's been kind of off the pace. So it's good to see him back in the fight and good for his shout for P3, I guess.
Yeah, only 28 points for Mayank in the last 5 races as compared to Azun and HEP who have close to 80 points. So definitely a
Wow.
lot of points difference between them. And
Yeah.
HEP taking 6th pole of the season. So 10 races, 6 poles for HEP. That certainly says a lot about his pace. And that's one extra championship point which goes into the rattle. So the Azun now basically needs to outscore HEP by 11 points if he
You
has.
know, I think the battle to watch is definitely HVP and Azun on the softs and the mediums because I think the mediums are a much better strategy for this map, for this track. And we're gonna have to see how HVP manages to pull this off. I think this could be a good drive from Azun. He's put
Yeah,
himself in a
because
good position
if
and
there
on
is
the right
no early
stretch.
safety cars, HUP and the other people who will be starting on the softs will have to pit earlier.
Yeah, I
And
think around lap 8 is the ideal pit stop, but that's going to leave you with pretty much dead soft tires and very dead hard tires at the end of the race. So I think that this is going to be a good battle to watch. If Azun can put on pace, this action's mother.
hang on, please let me first send a message to PSI. I think he needs to leave the lobby.
Okay.
But in terms of predictions, I think Jin Sanity is in a really good position to get a really good result here. So no, that's someone who I am looking forward to his race, how it progresses. So I think in terms of podium predictions, I'll go with I'll go with HVP Mayank Engine. Let's see. I know Azun has a good strategy, but he has to do some overtaking before he can challenge these top drivers. Crazy Mouse Monster, I'm not entirely sure how much of a challenge he will put to his teammate who is fighting for the championship. So that's something to look forward to. But the likes of Oxidized Race could also play a part here because he's on the soft tires. So let's see how his start is compared to Jin. So a lot of things to talk about. Nishan on the hards, meanwhile, the only driver on the hards. Otherwise, we see a lot of medium runners, P11 to P14, outside of the top 10, having those fresh mediums. Let's see how this one goes. I'm excited about this one. Should be a good race.
Yeah, very much so. I'm surprised that no one in the top 10 opted for the hards. I think that would have
Top
been a
10,
very good strat. In the
anyway.
bottom 10, I mean, sorry.
Nishan is on the
Other
hards.
than Nishan, yeah, I'm
Right,
saying,
right.
you know,
Well,
like,
I think well, it looks like a dry race, so I think they might be hoping that they can challenge a couple of soft runners and try to get a couple of positions, and after that try to just get stuck in. But either ways, the drivers are on the grid, and I see a lot of glitching going around. And lights out. They are not out. I don't see anything on my screen. Do you see anything on your screen?
no.
Yeah,
Oh,
now they're underway.
and away we go. Oh,
And
Jin Sanity got a terrible start over there. I think he was
yeah,
a
I
bit late.
think that was some issue with the lobby again. And Azun has
My
jumped a
God.
few cars. There's a couple of dive bombs going on there, but it seems like a good start nonetheless. Where is Jin, by the way? Has he lost a lot of
Jin
positions?
is
Yeah, he
in
has.
P14.
Yeah,
Wow.
that has absolutely ruined his strategy. Is he has a contact with Lost Crisp, I think it was. Yeah, it was Lost Crisp with whom he had contact, and he has lost a position. Big booty on the back of Sid Venkatesh, and he's keeping his position for now. So Azun has gained 3 positions off the start, I think.
So is Azuna a big winner over here?
Yeah, Jin has left the session as well, so probably some connection
Oh.
issues with Jin. Do try to. I'm sure he will have spare invites, but see if you can inviting back further back. Lost Crisp and Ace are battling. Lost Crisp within a few tenths of the Mercedes driver, but staying behind for now. And this is going to be interesting. This is a really important start from HUP, and look at him, he's on the back of Mayank, and I won't be surprised he will be depleting his battery here. No, yeah, he does, but I don't think it's going to be enough, so has to stay behind for now. And what's happening with Nishan?
Has he glitched? Okay. Full name? Jinsanity.
It's Jinsanity 4. It's a 4 at the end of that. The lobby, yeah, he has joined back. Courtesy spare invites. So good start so far. Anubhav is asking who is Jinsanity's rival. So in terms of championship, it is Azun is the rival for Jinsanity. Oxidized race 3-second penalty already. That's a little bit early in the day to get a 3-second time penalty, but Azun, yeah, Azun is the yeah, that's pretty early as Space Cadet and Nishan are fighting. And what's happening here? It seems fine now. Lost Crisp getting a 3-second time penalty as well. And let's go back to the battle up top. Azun has lost some touch of the soft runners, so in the early laps I'm sure the soft runners can pull up. I think what he needs to ensure is to not get overtaken by the likes of Oxidize. That's probably the strategy which might help him, because he needs to have that clean air HUP again setting faster laps. So he's enjoying the clean air for sure. And look at the gap he has pulled out, almost 2 seconds there. Mayank on the back of Quick Killer, and I think next time around when they have DRS, Mayank could make a real charge for P2.
But look at Azun in P4, he's made up all the places he needs. Now if he can just stick with the top 3, I think he's golden for P1.
Yeah, it is possible. I think he has a really good chance now, considering he has overtaken a couple of cars. And Jinsanity, unfortunately for him, Nishan in the pits. So that contact or that incident with Space Cadet, which I did not catch on the stream, but there was definitely an incident. I saw a couple of position swaps. And
I think he had
yeah.
Did he pit?
Yeah, he pitted. Yeah, he pit. He pit from
to the mediums. Okay.
Yeah, to the mediums from the hards. He started on the hards, so the only driver to start on the hards. Unlucky for him that
that is very unfortunate.
Has damage. And Nihar in the chat is asking if it's going to rain. We don't know that, Nihar, right now. We don't know if it's going to rain. We will have to wait and watch. It's pretty sunny here right now, so it's quite possible we do not see any rain. But we'll keep an eye out on the weather. We'll see if it gets a little overcast, and that would really spice things up, won't it? If it rains.
So Malav, Anubhav is asking who HVP's rival is, and I think it's Azun as well. That's just how close the gaps are in this championship right now.
Yeah,
a lot of drivers have a shot.
Yeah, Azun is the rival for. Hang on, here we go. Thakurwa with a big lunge on Big Booty. I think definitely has overshot the corner. Is now under attack from Crazy Mouse Monster for now, but now he has to stay behind. Thakurwa goes deep into the corner, tries to pinch the McLaren driver in the apex, and well, the positions have not changed, but Thakurwa almost lost the position while trying to gain one.
Yeah, Crazy Mouse could have had a good run up the inside there, but I think he was just too cautious on the accelerator. But that was a good piece of battle there between the two of them. So Mayank is also still on the back of Quick Killer, and I really feel that on the next straight that's going to be his best opportunity to try and get past, and the first one into the pits is going to have track position, and that's everything on this map.
Yeah, so and Undercut is so powerful here. Ace is a little bit offline, but yeah, you are right. Undercut is quite powerful here, so we'll keep an eye out on the pit stops as well. Sid Venkatesh on the back of Oxidize. Oxidize, despite starting on those soft tires, has fallen back from Azun quite a bit. And look at Azun, I think he's really strong in the third sector. He's gaining a lot of time there. Mayank, I don't think is going to get enough, but Sid Venkatesh might be on a charge. Here he goes, the Ferrari driver on the Red Bull, chooses to use the inside line for an overtake, and that could be cleanly done. That's Sid Venkatesh into P5, and Thakurwa for the second lap in a row is again trying a move on Big Booty. Thakurwa is in front. Let's see where Big Booty breaks. They are side by side. Big Booty loses. I think there was definite contact there. Not sure if that's damage, but that's Thakurwa into P7. So good start from him. Again, those medium runners coming in handy. Nishan He's 24 seconds behind, but he has put in the fastest lap of the race, so that shows how much space he has. The gap in front. What is this man? What does he eat for breakfast? I really want to know, HVP. Look at the gap he's pulled out.
Just gone. He's in the distance, and you know, Azun is probably getting pretty frustrated sitting behind Quickly and Mayank.
It seems like he's faster than the two, but he's not able to
Get
overtake
past,
because because Mayank has DRS as well on Quick Killer. So
and I think the traction you get on the soft tires on the exit of corners, it makes it so hard to get a move done from the mediums to the softs. But I have to say, it's super interesting, these tracks which kind of make the top drivers go on the mediums. It makes for some amazing action, because you have a lot of guys who may not have been quicker on a normal day, but since they're on the softs and the others are trying to qualify on the mediums, we get to see a lot of action on the field.
Here is Mayank trying to make a move. He's using all the available DRS which he can. And what's happening with Teves and Ace meanwhile? Ace is finally through on Teves over. Teves hangs it around the outside. He's not going to give up without a fight. Teves still has it. It's tire banking. Beautiful helicopter view. And Ace might just have it on the traction. They are still side by side for an entire sector. Let's see what happens on this turn. Ace has to back out. And then he has lost Chris for company, because Ace is... Let's see if he going... Is he going for a dive here? No, he hangs back for now. And... Wow, Azun is quite near to Mayank, so I think there's an overtake probably coming. Mayank has lost touch with Quick Killer.
Azun darted out to the inside just to have a look there on Mayank, but
I think he's trying to unsettle Mayank. Riding on board with Lost Chris right now. We will have to go to the battle at the front on the main straight. But for now, this is...
Mayank goes into the... No, Mayank, what happened to Mayank over there?
He has DNF'd, and that could be a safety car. He was trying to go to the pits. I'm not sure. Is that a virtual safety car? What? How is that a virtual safety car? That's a full-fledged safety car in my opinion. But Mayank, his hard luck. Again, I'm not sure. I was not on board with any of these drivers.
I was on board with Azun, what happened? And it looked like Mayank wanted to go into the pits and made a last-minute decision not to, and just hit the wall. You know what I'm talking about? The barrier that just comes up on you.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of the main straight. That's so unfortunate. But I guess Azun is not complaining at all.
Not at all, and a lot of people are having a drive-through. I saw Oxidized Rage getting the drive-through, Big Booty with a drive-through as well, and let's see if anyone else is a drive-through. Yeah, these are the only two people with drive-through. Jin Sanity has pitted on the hards, Space Cadet on the mediums. Mayank has had enough of this weekend, and we are green again. So it wasn't. If it car, I'm sure a lot of soft runners would have pitted, but right now they cannot. Ace is behind Teves and is still not able to make that move. Let's see if he's able to this time around. But this is a good battle. Teves in the points again, and let's see. This is going to be a good battle, I think, between Azun and
HVP. Yeah, this is going to be a great race. Azun is closing again on Quick Killer. He's almost within the DRS range. And on the mediums too, that is just brilliant pace being shown by Azun. Definitely enough to match HVP. Onto the main straight though, I don't think Ace has the pace to go past Teves this time. So looks like he makes a move around the outside. He brakes really late and going for the switchback, but he loses it on the rear, so he has to stay behind.
And he might lose a position. No, he will not to Lost Crisp. But Teves running in the points right now, and if he stays there, and if there are a couple of more DNFs, but I think he still has the pace. He has shown the pace tonight. This will be his first. Yeah, this will be his first points of the season. Yeah, I was just looking at the battle between Jin Sanity and Space Cadet there. Jin Sanity behind the Racing Point driver, and up front our championship contender Azun. Nishan gets a 3-second time penalty, but Azun is on the back of Quick Killer. HUP is in the pits, I think. Yeah, he's in the pits. Azun on the back of Quick Killer, and Quick Killer into the pits as well. So Azun is the race leader. Let's see what tires HUP goes on from here on. He'll be jumped by a lot of medium runners.
HVP is going on the hards. Yeah, I don't think that was the right decision. Lap 7 was very early to bid onto the hards. I think he's going to be struggling at the end of the race.
Yeah,
This
let's
is going to
see.
be interesting.
And Ace on the back of Thieves again. HUP has. Where is HUP in the right now?
He's right in between them. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he almost got caught up in that incident, but does well to avoid it. And he has now lost Chris for company. So Ace is on the mediums, and he is through. He's not. I love this from Thieves. I absolutely love this. I'm not sure if you've raced with him before, but I've
I
raced with him
have.
for quite a while, and he's getting the elbows out. I absolutely love it. Jin Sanity
Yeah.
and Space Cadet as well are battling, and Jin might have to wait some more time. He swoops to take that corner, and yeah, he's fine. Yeah, go on. You're saying something.
Yeah, Ace is also really quick, so like Thieves is doing a brilliant job keeping him behind. Like Ace has a lot of pace, so I'm sure he's getting really frustrated with this. But it's all been clean and fair, so I don't think anyone can complain here.
Yeah, I'm talking
But
about
HVP,
frustration. There's
Do you
a
think he's gonna
Renault.
get held up?
Yeah, I think he's already getting held up behind these two drivers who are not going to. But here goes HUP. Is he going down the inside? No, he thinks the better of it. He has to be careful here not to damage his wing or get caught up in an incident. But
I think
here is Ace. I think this time
HVP 's
Ace might get it.
Well, let's see, but the longer they keep fighting, the more HVP is gonna suffer. I think he would have been good to stay out one more lap and come out well away from this fight. Oh gosh, he's just gonna have to be a spectator. Thieves does not let Ace through. Thieves is putting up a brilliant
Here's
defense.
HUP. Here's HUP trying to go down the outside. Has to stay back. Thieves absolutely parking it on the apex. And Thieves in P4, I say stop the count. Just stop the count, get out the red flag, everyone go on to the hards. And
Oh god, Ace almost lost it right there. Ace is really getting frustrated with this, I think.
and
And
HUP is on the
HVP
back of him.
also.
HUP, does he go for a dive bomb?
Oh,
He's
Quick Killer
trashed.
just made a move on Lost Crisp behind. Quick Killer's on the back of HVP already.
This
that's
is
just showing
Quick
you how
Killer on
much
the
time
medium, so
HVP
Quick Killer
lost.
on the two stops. I don't think those mediums will go to the end. But
No, they
Thieves
won't.
basically is helping out Azun here, isn't he?
He really is. Oh man, I'm sure HVP is hoping for a disconnect at this point to save himself.
Right, HUP again on the back of. Look
But
at
you
him,
know,
he's
Quick
just
Killer
trying
too.
to. Yeah, Quick Killer is right on the back of HUP. And here goes HUP now. Ace has DRS. It's the only person who's safe from this entire train is Steve's. HUP tries to go around the outside, and he has to stay behind for now. And
Oh
let's see if this time he makes a move. He tries to go down the inside. He is cut
Oh
off.
my god.
This is
My
really
heart
intense.
is in my mouth, Malav. I'm so worried. Did these two guys not know that HVP is fighting for the championship right now?
They know, but they don't care, and that's how they should race. They are making it fair. It's not overly aggressive. They're making it fair, and they are all fighting for track position. They are not lapped cars, and I'm absolutely loving it. Further behind, Space Cadet and Big Booty, the two racing points, are fighting, but we just can't go there because it's a 4-car battle here. It's a 5-car battle here from P4 to P8.
Yeah, Lost
And
Crisp is just a spectator. He's been watching this for like the better part of 11 laps, I'd say.
yeah, here is HVP. He has used a lot of ERS as well, trying to get past, and that says a lot. He's being put under pressure here, and on a track where it's difficult to overtake, he's not getting a lot of opportunities except on turn 1, maybe turn 2. Is he going to drive on the inside again? No, he does, but tries to take different lines than Ace. Ace will have DRS on Thieves, and Thieves is basically doing an Alonso from Austria last weekend. Let's see where HVP does. He goes down the inside. I think this time he make it move, but he overshot it. He has overshot it. He has the DRS now, and finally he is through. But that might be a little bit, I'm not saying controversial, but he did brake very late. He almost outbroke himself into that corner. He was lucky no
I
one
just
has
hope that Ace has
damage.
no damage, yeah. I
Yes,
don't
Frank.
know if he does. I can't see. He might though.
Yeah, Ace. It doesn't seem like he has damage, at least not on our screen. And HUP, I think, on the next possible opportunity will overtake
So,
Thieves as well.
Teeves' ERS light has been blinking for like 3 laps now, which really goes to show how hard it is to overtake on this track. Man, he's putting up a great show for us, though. But I
Yeah.
think HVP is going to have him
And in
very
the battle
soon.
of the racing points, Space Cadet has come out on top. He's in P12 right now. HVP is basically pushing Teeves around the track, and further behind, it's a 5-car battle here, and Teeves is doing an absolutely brilliant job. Let's see what happens this time further behind, because it's going to be an easy move from HVP on Teeves. What does Ace do to defend? Teeves on the outside. HVP does take that position, so that's him into P4, and he has to use those medium tires now to get in front. Quick Killer on the strategy, which doesn't seem to be the better strategy right now. He will have to pit again, basically.
This is, I think it's a race gone for Quick Killer, because
Yeah,
he's
it
just
might
got
cost him a
held up.
podium as well, as the racing points are battling again, and Oxidized Race has caught up to them now. So
Wow, so I think the mediums are falling off now, because HVP has caught up, I think, half a second over the first few sectors that he's driven. And I think this would be a good time for Azun to think about pitting to the hards, probably in the next 2 laps.
yeah, next lap or so, I think he would be hoping to pit. He'll probably still come. I don't know. Do you know what's the pit stop time here?
I don't, but let's just assume it's around 20 seconds, so that puts them neck and neck. He should
Yes, I think
pit
the next
as
lap,
soon as possible.
Azun has to pit. I think
Yeah.
that's because HUP's gap to Azun right now is 21 seconds. Here goes Quick Killer on the inside of the final corner, and look at the traction he's getting out of the final corner. That old mediums versus hards, the difference is really showing. And Quick Killer now on the back of Teeves. He goes for a late move again.
Wow.
And oh, that's damage.
No!
That's damage. And Quick
Damage for
Killer's
Teeves for
race.
sure.
Yeah, for sure. That was. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. Is there a safety car? No, there is no safety
No,
car.
Quick
That would
Killer's
have
back on
really.
his way.
Yeah, he is, but I'm sure he has damage, and at the same time, so does Teeves maybe. So that has probably ruined his race as well. I don't see any damage on his front wing, but let's see if he's going to change it later on. So back to Azun. He's rounding off the second last corner now. Let's see what he does. I think he should pit. He stays out for one more lap. So trusting those medium tires, old medium tires, to eke out some lap time before he swaps them for a set of hard tires.
You know, I don't know if losing the track position, I don't know if it's worth losing the track position just to have 5-lap pressure tires at the end. I don't think it's easy to overtake here.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Azul is
And Teeves,
making a
meanwhile,
blunder.
has lost 2 positions in the final corner. What happened to Alpha Tauri? Have lost Crisp there. Both staying out for now. It's Ace in the pits, so he's probably one of the first drivers to pit who started on those soft medium tires rather. And HUP's gap to Azun has still not really decreased, but I think the second sector as well, he'll make up a lot of time. So let's keep an eye out on that, and let's see what Ace is doing. Rather, Azun is doing. He's in the second sector, and I think it's now or never. He has to push like anything. He has to deplete whatever battery he has. He has a fair amount of battery if you guys go on board with him. And he's lost 410 through the second sector. So not a lot of time which he has lost. I think he has preserved those medium tires well. But he needs to, is locking up for good measure, as he says. And yeah,
point,
he's into the pits.
Yeah, he's in the pits. So at this point, I have a question. If Azun wins this race, how far does HVP need to finish to win the championship?
So if Azun wins this race, HUP I think needs to be P5 or P6 for Azun to win the championship, and I think that's probably not going to happen. Let's see. This is going to be close between Azun and HUP. HUP powering down the main straight. Let's see where Azun comes out. HUP I think would have just got him, and Azun staying out those extra lap maybe or 2 has come out behind
really think
HUP.
That's cost him track position 100%.
Yeah, and with
He has the
6
time.
laps fresher tires, I don't think that's enough time, as Quick Killer is trying to make a move on Deep Skull. Finally he's through, and his teammate behind as well. Azun,
Azun just
3
got a
seconds.
3-second
Oh,
No, that is
That's
not
not
what he
going.
needs.
Yeah, that's exactly the opposite of what he needs. Teve's making a wide berth for his teammate Jinsanity, and Jinsanity is into P8. Teves, I think, probably should pit now. I think by now
Yeah, 15
he.
laps is pushing these tires, I think, even though the mediums are pretty resilient.
Yeah, that's something which he should think about at least on this lap, if not the earlier laps. Quick killer on the back of Lost Crisp, and Sid Venkatesh into the pits. Let's see what Thakurwa does. Thakurwa goes on for one more lap. Azun has caught up to HEP, and let's see what Azun does now. Does he go for a pit? Does he go for an overtake here on his championship rival? He has a lot of ERS, so has saved up
I
rather.
think he's gonna go for it. He has a
No,
no, no, not this lap.
I think this could have been a good opportunity to go for it because HEP's red light was flashing. Azun had a
Yeah.
lot of energy. He probably could have made it work because HEP didn't have enough there, and he needs, if he has pace, and I'm sure he has shown that he probably has better race pace than HEP, at least on this track on the same set of tires, considering the gap he had to the.
No, honestly, I think that HVP's position was entirely due to Teves and Ace. Like that fight held him up so much. I
Yeah,
I have
that's
to
right.
say,
That's absolutely right. For a couple of laps, he was held behind them. But I'm talking about more of the first stint, where Azun was really catching up and was
yeah,
just not able to overtake because that's the track. But
that's
he
true.
was he was really putting in those lap times on the medium tires when compared to others on the soft tires. Sid Venkatesh has come out on a set of hard tires and is now going to challenge Nishan. Sid Venkatesh, good position for him to finish on the podium, don't you think? Because he's in P5 right
Oh,
now.
yeah, he actually drove an amazing first stint. I didn't even notice that he came out in P5.
Yeah, he's come out in P5, is on the back of Nishan. Azun and HEP are battling. Azun has the inside line, and this time he does make it work. Rides a lot of curb, but I think HEP will have to settle. Nishan has kept Sid Venkatesh behind for one more lap. Nishan definitely has to pit one more time. He can't go to the end of this one. Quick Killer and Jinsanity battling, and that's Quick Killer into P6. Do you think Jinsanity can go to the end on this? I think that's his plan, to go to the end on these hard tires. But
35 laps. Oh, how many? Yeah, 35
yeah, there's 20,
laps.
27 laps total on those hards. Do you think that's possible? I think
he's gonna struggle.
Yeah, he's gonna
It'll
struggle, but
be
it's
around
doable.
70% tire wear.
But yeah, it is going to be better fun. I don't know, when I ride on board with Jin, it seems like his gearbox is giving out, but that's probably just a glitch, so better stay off board. Right, so as things stand, Azun will probably, well, he still has to get the gap to more than 3 seconds. I think that's why HEP did not fight him much. He knows he has to think about the championship in the last race and not about this race only. So HEP, even if he gets P4 right now in this race, and I think that's probably not going to happen anyway, HEP will win the championship. Here we go, Sid Venkatesh on Nishan, and well, Sid is not using his battery, the Ferrari driver, so might not
Still
work
gonna
out,
make
but
it. Yes, he does, going very, very close on the inside curve just to make sure that he doesn't touch over there. Interesting. This track actually has amazing battling. Like, this is such a good show that we've seen today.
yeah, and Nishan has sorry.
Sid,
It's Sid who has made a move. I was watching the battle between Jinsanity and Quick Killer. Jinsanity is through, and Nishan is through as well. So Nishan in the podium positions. Rather, Sid Venkatesh in the podium positions. Nishan has to pit one more time, and how he would love a safety car right now.
honestly, this is looking like more and more difficult for Azun, because I don't think there are many drivers who can contest HVP's position at this point.
Yeah, I
Sid being
think
9 seconds behind.
at best, Sid Venkatesh gets a 3 second time penalty. So does Lost Chris. But yeah, at best, I think Azun can, and that's the most he can do, win the race. And I think fastest lap is now. Let's see who has the fastest lap right now. It's Nishan who has the fastest lap, and I think he will keep that because he has to pit one more time, probably on a set of mediums. So as things stand, racing points in a battle of their own again.
I think
Uh,
they're going for a two-stop as well because they pit really early for the mediums.
and they are on the exact same tire life. So
Yeah,
did they pit on the same lap?
I don't know, but I feel like they might have.
Yeah, that's the only explanation, that they are
Yeah,
on
because
the same tire
they were
lap.
running
Here,
pretty high up
yeah,
in the
here
order.
goes Big Booty, who almost did not race, but here he is, and he is making a move on his teammate, with Ace just behind the pair of them. Quick Killer gets a 3-second time penalty. He has to stop again. Let's see how his race progresses. But Big Booty, I think that's the second time he's put an overtake on Space Cadet into P9 and hoping for a good load of points. Uh,
So, can I point out right now that there
yeah.
are only two drivers on the field who don't have penalties?
Oh yeah, that's Jin and HEP. That's the only two drivers who don't have penalty. That's a good spot, Nirvan. Uh, Especially the second sector on this track, you are bound to get a couple of them on turn 4 as well, which is the blind left-hander rather. That's
Yeah.
another area where you are bound to get, or rather you are susceptible to getting some penalties. But yeah, I think Nishan is in the pits. He got a 3-second penalty as well. And let's see, I think it will be on to the set of mediums, if I'm not wrong. If he has another set of mediums, yeah, that's the medium tires is going on. Ace on the back of the two racing points, and the Mercedes is not able to, but this time he'll be able to. He's on the back of Space Cadet, and that's Ace into P10
Wow,
for
is
the
this going to
run.
be another four-car battle for us? Because Nishan's come out just alongside this group. He's lucky he came out ahead.
Yeah, I think
Otherwise,
that's what
P2 would be
he would be
stuck.
hoping for, that he came out ahead of this battle. Quick Killer, meanwhile, has gotten past Crazy Mouse Monster, and Nishan would be hoping to catch the McLaren driver as soon as he can. Jin Sanity has now caught up to Thakurva. The tire life is miles apart for the two of them, but Jin Sanity seems to have more pace right now and is catching the Alfa Romeo with every passing corner.
Can I just say I'm heartbroken for Teeves? I think
Yep,
as it
Teves
stands,
was running really good, and well, we did not cover his pit stop, but I have a feeling he had damage from that incident with Quick Killer. Then suddenly there was a drop in his pace, and he was getting overtaken by multiple cars, in a sector or two. I think that was definite damage before he had to pit. But what a race he was running the first stint, especially keeping so many fast drivers behind on a track, right, that overtaking is difficult. But into turn 1 it's a very long straight, and we have seen a lot of moves happen there. So to keep so many drivers behind for quite a few laps is
very, very
very
impressive.
impressive, especially if the
Yeah.
drivers like HUP, who was on the newer tires, although it was the same set of tires, medium tires, but new tires. Jin Sanity, his teammate, meanwhile, Steve's teammate, is right on the gearbox of Thakurva. So next time they're on the main straight, we could see a move for P4 here.
You know, it's funny, Nishan was aspiring to do a last to first, and it seems Jin Sanity's actually gone and done very close to the same thing.
Yeah, I was put to the almost. Was it dead last at the end?
Dead
At the end of
last, I
first
think.
lap.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a really good recovery from Jin. His bad luck does not seem to help at all. Here we go, Jin Sanity on Thakurva. Let's see how this one turns out. Seems like it's going to be pretty straightforward for the Williams driver. Jin Sanity stays in the switching until the very last moment, goes on the inside, and that's pretty much a standard overtake any day of the week. Covers the apex, and he's on his way. Let's see. Jin is a very, very fast driver. Let's see if we can
Yeah.
catch Sid Venkatesh here, because Sid Venkatesh has a
Let's see.
penalty, so the Jin could actually finish on the podium here.
That would be very, very impressive. But another thing about Jin is we have to just keep an eye on his pace, because as soon as he starts falling off, we know that HVP's tires are going to start falling off. So, because HVP is already on the back of Azun, showing that the difference in tire age is no issue for him.
And the hard
Wonder if
tires
Azun
are
made a mistake.
really durable. Yeah, I think so, because I think the gap last time I checked was
One and
more
a
than a
half
second.
seconds.
Yeah, for sure more than a second. Azun, not sure what happened there. He's losing time hand over fist to HEP, and
Yeah.
I wonder if he has damage somewhere. Was letting HEP through? Is it? No, he's not. He's just trying to break the slipstream, but HEP
But
is on the
meanwhile,
back of him. Yeah, go on.
oh, sorry. Continue. I didn't notice that they were still so
Yeah,
close.
they were a bit
Yeah, but
close.
Azun or Nishan is on the back of Crazy Mouse Monster going into the main straight right now. I think he has a good chance of getting this move done. He needs to get this gap down of 12 seconds that Quick Killer's built up in front of Crazy Mouse. So he needs to get by right here, and I think he's going to be able to do it because there's no DRS train to help Crazy Mouse over here. But a little bit of weaving from him, forcing Nishan onto the outside. But I think there's just going to be no issue for Nishan. No contact there and a clean one around the outside. I think that's the first move around the outside we've seen today on turn 1.
Yeah, I think HEP tried a couple of times on the likes of Thieves or Ace, but didn't really work out.
Yeah.
Space Cadet into the pits, and I wonder when we are going to see Quick Killer into the pits. Just 11 laps to go, so I think he's trying to go on a set of soft tires from here on.
Yeah, he'll
But
come out in P10 or in P9 maybe. So I think his race has been very much destroyed by that incident.
yeah, let's keep an eye out on what's happening up front. Meanwhile, HUP and Zune, what's going on here?
You think HVP was just saving a little bit for later?
Well, either it's that, or I think the only way to explain this is HUP was sandbagging for 2/3 of the race.
Yeah.
Either that or Azun has damage. That's the
he's
only.
clear. At least both his end plates are there. Okay, now that gap is starting to build a little again.
Yeah, but that's the middle sector where you lose downforce, and that's why HUP is not able to follow Azun as closely. But he's really catching him up, and I think he might be in a good position here to win on track as well. Big Booties meanwhile on the back, not exactly on the back, but he's on the soft, so he's going to the end of the race and is challenging Oxidized Rage, and the pace difference on these tires will be massive between these two.
Massive, yeah, I
So
think this
Big Booties
no.
goes wide there at the exit of turn 1, so that will not help his charge. Ace has left. Oh, that's a real unfortunate. Ace has left the session. Can you try to
Yes.
invite him to Ace _1426? He has had a couple of issues with disconnections this season, and that continues to happen. What's happening meanwhile up top? Azun keeps in P1, but HUP close behind, and I don't think HUP needs to try anything risky here. He knows he has the win as well as a championship in the bag if he stays just behind Azun, so doesn't need to risk it at all.
So I think Big Booty probably made a mistake getting onto the softs because they're going to be really bad at the end. But Space Cadet is on the mediums. Let's see how far he can go.
Yeah, I mean, Quick Kill on the mediums, and 9 laps to go. Is he going to
Quick Killer
pit?
needs to pit as soon as possible. I don't think he's going to be able to make.
Yeah,
9
me
more laps
neither.
on those mediums.
But you never know. I mean, I don't know exactly what's going on here. Is he trying to see how far these tires can go? That's
Well, I don't think it'll be
for
worth the
research
experiment.
purposes.
Yeah. I mean, it is the last race, so I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
Vfix
wait,
is
but he
asking a
in-
question, by the way. Vfix is asking, is Azun trying to back HUP into the likes of Sid Venkatesh or Jinsanity? I don't think that's a really viable strategy. Oh, Azun
HUP
has lost the
got him.
position. Yeah, HUP has got him. And that's on the main straight. We completely missed that. The gap was huge enough. I don't think there was an overtake going to happen there. But Azun has lost the position, and well, I think that's, unless something drastic happens in the last 7 or 8 laps, I think that's curtains for his championship. But a good season for him
but
nonetheless.
speaking of backing HVP into Sid Venkatesh and Jinsanity, I think that was probably Azun's best move, honestly. Just to try and push him into the pack so he could stay in front.
Yeah, maybe, but it's 8 seconds, so I mean, you can't drive really slowly anyway. That's Space Cadet. Sorry to cut you off there. Space Cadet trying a very late lunge on Thieves and almost damage his front wing. I think he has still kept it intact, and he's going to try again on the main straight. Yeah, but backing the pack up, I'm not sure if that would have worked out. That's a lot of. If it was like 3 or 4 seconds, I can understand that, but 8 seconds is a lot of time. You need to back up continuously for maybe five,
Yeah,
six
10
laps.
laps. Yeah.
Oh, they are still battling here. Teves and Space, Cadet, and the Racing Point might finally have the position. That's
Oh, he
more
got in front of
contact.
him very aggressively there.
Yeah, that's a little bit risky, but I think the cars are also moving somewhat differently, so there might be some glitches involved as well. But Teves
Oh no.
is running in P14 according to my stream. Let's see what's happening up front. Jin Sanity has been catching, by the way, Sid Venkatesh. So it is the last time I checked, the interval was less than 3 seconds. So Jin might actually finish on the podium here.
I think
What
that
a
would be a
story!
brilliant drive for Jin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what a story that would be.
F1 F1 YouTube would have to make a video about it.
Right, so we have some time here to talk about other things. I don't see a lot of battles right now. I don't see. Yeah, seems like the field is spread out, except for. Yeah, I think the field is spread out. So
So that's good. Yeah,
take
let's
us
talk
take
about
us
the
through.
glitches in this game because
Yeah,
I can't
that's
see any intervals right now.
yeah. I think they're slowly popping up on the screen. But what I wanted to talk about is the talk on the server, which happened midweek. What happened with you and the rat? That's something I think a lot of us are interested in. And while we
Oh
did
gosh.
hear your reaction about oh my god into infinity, but what exactly happened there?
Man, so the story is actually pretty crazy. So, he came into my room 3 in the morning. Like I wasn't even paying attention. I literally just see something moving out of the corner of my eye, and it's this plump brown. I don't know. Maybe it's a mouse. I'm not sure. Someone was saying that it was probably a mouse, but either way, he was fast and he could jump. So he tried to leave my room, but my main door was closed. So he went into my bathroom, and I literally just closed the door and I put a fork in between the two door handles so he couldn't open the door. You know, and I could hear him like running into the door and trying to bang into it. So in the morning, when I came back, I opened the door and he was literally on a shelf, like in a mezzanine, on top of the bathroom door. You know, like very high up. I have no idea how he got there, but he ran and jumped out of the window. I can't even describe how fast he jumped out the window. But yeah, that was freaky.
Right, so you did get to name him, is what you are trying to say.
No, no, no. I guess I don't know. What would you have named him?
Well, I would have named him Stuart just because, we have a crazy mouse monster running in P8 right now. Good race from him, and I think that's his P8 still because of the gap to Ace right now. Lost Chris, meanwhile, talking about Ace because of his disconnection, has lost a lot of time, and
Lost Crisp has found his long
yeah,
lost companion.
and he could probably challenge him in the final 5 laps of the race.
And the gap quick kill is also catching Thakurva pretty quickly, so it's been a good recovery from him, I think. Oh, but he still has to pit.
Does he? I'm telling you, then this is something which I thought about 5 laps earlier, that maybe he's going to the end. 20 laps.
25 laps. Oh, like,
25 laps. That's a
I
lot of
think
laps.
that's a record. That's
Now,
definitely a record.
I remember
isn't
commentating in HRL, which is another league which I'm sure you might be familiar with. And I
Yeah.
think it was Hungary, if I'm not wrong, where I did some commentary, and Shah tried to take the softs maybe more than 17, 18 laps, and he had a puncture. Now, I'm not saying Quick Killer will get a puncture, but he's definitely flirting with danger here.
I think you might have just put a little commentator's curse on him because hopefully that doesn't happen.
Well,
But I think he is going to lose the place to Nishan at this rate. Like there's no way he's keeping him by.
yeah, I think he's losing time hand over fist here, and someone who's losing time is Lost Crisp. He has ever since Ace has joined back, while he made up some ground, did the Alfa Romeo driver, but he is now susceptible to oxidized rage in the Red Bull behind. So let's see how this battle unfolds. Quick Killer desperately needs that DRS from Thakurwa because
Yeah,
oh
I think
here we
he's
go.
put himself in a good place. He can just ride the DRS train all the way to a P6.
Well, he doesn't have DRS right now, and Nishan would be hoping that Thakurwa gets a move on because Nishan is really close. And I think the next lap could be the lap where Nishan finally makes a move. And he has had a lot of time to himself and try to catch up to Quick Killer. And unless Thakurwa makes a mistake, I don't think Quick Killer will have DRS on the main straight, and that would probably be enough for Nishan. Look at him catching through the corners. He's just not able to get past because of these narrow sections of track where, but he might make a move here. Let's see if he goes for it. No, he stays behind for now. That's a smart decision by the Alpha Tauri driver. Last two question mark challenge quickly turning into a last two P6, maybe P5. We'll have to wait and see. But here we go. Nishan rounding the final corner, and I think this is just a formality. He will overtake Quick Killer, but Quick Killer has a good traction and good top speed. He's not going to make a move on this lap, at least on this corner, and I was very sure he's going to pull that off.
Yeah, me as well. Do you think Nishan probably made a little bit of a mistake into the last corner there? I don't know.
Well, it didn't seem like that, but someone who might have made a mistake is Sid Venkatesh. Now, Jin has been slowly but surely catching up to him, and what a drive this has been from Jin Sanity. Glitch at the start of the race, fell down to dead last, had a disconnection on the hard tires, which are older than anyone on the grid, and he's going to probably get that P3 legitimately on track. Let's see how.
Let's see. Because the traction out of the corners is so important that I think Sid probably has just a little bit more. And given with how hard it is to overtake here, I'm praying for Jinsanity right now.
Let's see.
Unfortunately, I think the battle at the front is kind of already decided, don't you think? Unless there's some kind of a freak accident.
Yeah. Don't jinx it, Nirvan. Here we go. Nishan again on the back of Quick. He's not using his battery, and I think that's exactly where Otives gets a 3-second time penalty. This is exactly where Quick Killer is using his battery, and Nishan is quickly running out of laps here. Let's have a look at the penalty situation. Oh, Nishan has 3 seconds. He might not get that P6 even if he overtakes Quick Killer on track.
How much does Quick Killer have? He has a
3 seconds. 3 seconds.
Oh, okay. You know, I think Nishan made a mistake not making this move a bit sooner, because I think he could have gotten Thakurva as well. But
yeah,
Quick Killer's had to drop back.
Yeah, he has dropped back, and by some margin. But it is a good result for Thakurva as well. That's a really good result. He's P5, and that might be his. Let's have a look. Is it his best finish of the season? Thakurva. No, his best is P4, but 5 is pretty strong either ways. Here goes Jin Sanity now on the back of Sid Venkatesh. He's using his battery. Sid Venkatesh does not have much to fight with, and he is through. What a drive this has been for Jin. Definitely a contender for driver of the day. Tries to fight back Sid Venkatesh, but has to stay behind. And meanwhile, Nishan on the back of Quick Killer. I think Quick Killer might just have this done and dusted.
Wow, I'm really surprised that Nishan hasn't been able to make this move. You think Quick Killer's setup is just too quick for him?
Maybe. Oh, that's. Who was that? Yeah, it is Big Booty who has lost a heap of positions.
Oh,
and is into P14. Okay, I'm not going to jinx it, but okay, I'm not going to say it until it happens. Here we go. I don't know if you understood what I'm talking about, but here we go. Last lap, or not the last lap, it's still the second last lap. And
oh my, this is so close. Oh my.
Nishan almost on the back of Quick Killer there. What's happening on the main straight meanwhile? Zoon and HUP have started the final lap.
Oh no,
And
Nishan, don't make the move here. He's gonna get DRS on you.
he's trying every which way possible to make that move. Jinsanity, no! What happened?
What? Duh. Did his tire explode?
No! Ah,
On the last lap? Oh my god,
no,
you
I don't
jinxed
think
it.
so. That's this car who has absolutely. I don't know what happened there. Was he? I really don't know what happened there.
Oh man, VFix, can you please let us know?
Oh my god.
Is that what you were
That
not trying to jinx?
no, that's something else. I'll still no. Okay, maybe I've right. That's okay. That's exactly what I was. This is tough to watch.
Do you
When will
think it had
this
to do with his
guy?
tires?
I don't know, but the championship contenders are probably in a party. They are trying to cross the line at the same time. HVP is going to win the race and the championship. Azun in P2. Sid Venkatesh gets a podium out of all that
Wow,
into
they just treated
P3.
us to a lovely formation finish. I
Yeah,
really like that.
absolutely. I got that confirmation from Jin. That was a puncture for Jin Sanity.
Wow, I had a
I
feeling, but
don't know.
it's
I don't
amazing
know
that
how
Quick
that's
Killer's
possible.
out
Yeah,
on
exactly.
25 lap
How is
old
that
mediums.
possible? And I will still not jinx it. Takova, his best finish of the season, P4. Quick Killer,
Quick
P5.
Killer! Oh my
Nish-
god!
I really don't know how he pulled that off. 26 laps. He could have done a softs to mediums. I mean, at this rate.
I,
Crazy
I,
Mouse Monster is going to finish ahead of Ace.
I just am at a loss for words. I don't know who to say is driver of the day, in my opinion. I think Quick Killer actually might be it because that defense against Nishan. Wow.
Thakurva and Sid Venkatesh could be good contenders as well. Oxidize rounds up the top 10. And I'm just thinking whether Teves has got his first point of the season. I think he has. He's finished P12. And that is something else which I did not want to jinx.
Oh my gosh.
Teves on
But
the last race in the season, he has got his point. He's finishing P12. That's 1 point for Teves. And what a race we have had. And Jinsanity, that's really unfortunate.
he must be so pissed off at the universe for letting Quick Killer finish on 25 lap old mediums. Like
Yeah. Herschel rounds off the season with a win again. That's his fourth win of the season. Has won the championship as well. Azun joins him in P2, and the podium was Sid Venkatesh. Those are the people you need to invite. Thakurva in P4, Quick Killer in P5, Nishan in P6. Natsume did not race today. Crazy Mouse Monster, good finish from him in P7. Ace into P8. Lost Crisp in P9. Oxidize P10. Jinsanity after having DNF'd. I think this is because he was a lap ahead of his teammate. Teves finishes P11. Teves gets his first point of the season. Finishes P12. Space Cadet Big Racing points in P13 and P14. And finally Mayank was also one of the drivers who could not finish the race. But wow, what a race we have had. Nirvana, I see you are trying to add people.
yep,
Let's
I'm
see.
just on Sid.
Yeah, okay. So who do we have? Has anyone joined or not yet?
HVP. Oh no, Azun is in the party right now. Azun, hello.
Yeah, hi.
Brilliant drive from you today.
Thank you.
Good job on P2 and a great fight. I feel the rest of the grid let you down there. And couldn't beat HVP to P2.
Well, let's start with Sid Venkatesh there. Sid Venkatesh, second podium of the season, I think. Sid, just
Correct.
see if
Correct.
your party settings and audio sharing settings are on so that we hear you on the stream as well. And talk us through your race. I think it was a start on the mediums for you. I think you started P10, if I'm not wrong, on the mediums. And
Yep,
Yeah, how did it go from there on?
Yeah, I got a really good start, to be honest, and keeping it clean in T1 was the biggest challenge. And yeah, after that it went smooth for me. I mean, no incidents, just a few overtakes. I got held up behind Oxidized for a bit. And after that, it was just clean air, and I could focus on my race. I feel so sad for Jin not making it to
Yeah, did,
podium.
yeah, that was really unfortunate for him. He had made that
Yeah,
overtake on you, but probably
yeah,
stretched his heart for too long, which I still don't
yeah.
understand how he got a puncture, and Quick Killer, who sealed P3 in the championship, did not, running 26 laps or 25 laps on those mediums. But
True.
congratulations once again, Sid. Nirvan, I will
Thanks.
leave it to you if you have any more questions. Otherwise, we can move on to Azun. And while
Sid,
you do that,
Yep.
Nirvan, if you can also invite Teves into the party, let's have a chat with him. What a
Oh,
brilliant race he
Steve's.
drove today and got his first point of the season. Nirvan, all yours.
okay, I don't have Thieves actually. Could you invite him?
Right. So anyone on the party can invite him. I don't want to interrupt the stream for that. You go on
I'll
with your
get,
question.
I'll get him here.
Yeah.
So Sid,
Yep.
actually,
Yep.
you have shown such amazing overtaking in the races that I've watched at least.
Uh-huh.
So how did it feel? How many overtakes did you have there in the race to finish P3?
Uh, Today, I guess around 4 or 5 at the start,
Wow,
and
that's amazing.
yeah, and after that, Nishan myself were just playing around. So, I mean, it was an
Did
interesting battle.
you manage to catch what happened to Jinsanity on your screen?
Yeah, he was in front of me. In fact, he had a puncher. He
And
went
what
into.
did the
Sorry.
did the car just spin out, or did
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what
he went
happened?
into the wall. On the exit of
Oh,
turn 1, he went into the wall.
oh man,
I mean,
that's
sad.
unfortunate.
Very bad, yeah.
But very lucky for you. Great race today, man. Sid.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Very
My first
clever.
podium, by the way.
Oh wow,
Podium interview, I
congratulations.
should say. Sorry. My first podium interview. Madhav.
Well, we did
Yeah,
take an
thanks.
interview for you, but it was not on the stream because you did not share your
Correct.
party audio. But either ways,
I've learned how
congratulations.
to do it now.
Yeah, once again, very strong finish to the season for you.
Thanks. Thanks a lot,
And
man.
here we go. Let's then have a chat with Azun.
Yep. Congrats to HPP, by the way.
Azun, are you here?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I hope the people on the stream can hear you as well.
Yeah, I
And
think I've shared my audio.
yeah, all right, great. So starting on the mediums, did you think that you could have probably qualified a little bit higher? Although you did get a lot of positions off the start, but
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I could have been 2-3 tenths faster, not sure if that would have made a difference. But definitely could have been faster, was just playing it a bit safe at the entry and exit of corners to not invalidate my lap.
Right, and through the start of the race, Jinsanity I think had a glitch because of which he dropped to the last of the grid. But talk us through the first few laps because you seem to be catching the likes of Mayank and Quick Killer, who were ahead of you on the soft tires, and all the while HVP was pulling a gap more than 3 seconds I think by the time you overtook them. So what was going on in your mind? Did you think that you still had the pace to win this race, or did you think it was already compromised because you lost a lot of time behind other cars?
So I think firstly Mayank and Quick Killer both had incidents and that's why they lost a bit of time. Otherwise HVP was really fast, so I don't think I had the pace to win the race, but I definitely could have competed for the win. I just got that penalty and that was, I feel, kinda unfortunate for my race. Congrats to Sid though and HVP as well for the championship and to Tees for getting his first points.
Right, congratulations once again, Azun. I mean, there's one particular thing which I wanted to talk about was something which happened maybe just with 7-8 laps to go, maybe 10 laps to go, where it seemed like you had a massive drop off in pace, and finally HUP did overtake you. So did you have damage somewhere, or did you just lose your car and then lost a lot of time because your tires were cooked, or what happened there? Because HUP seemed to gain a lot of time over you.
Oh yeah,
In
he
those
was driving
two
on
laps.
lean before that and then he switched to standard and
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
yeah, that's what he told me.
Man,
Right,
Azun, I was
so-
really looking forward to seeing what you could do, but a P2 was a great finish for you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, great one.
Right,
Good
and
job.
great season overall, Azun. Before I hand it over to Nirvan, great season overall. I think you have matched HVP step for step uh, with one win, and I think four podiums now. That's a really strong season, and all the best for the next season.
Thank you, Malav.
Yeah, Nirvan, all yours.
Yeah, Azun, actually, I was gonna ask the exact same question, like, because it seemed for a minute there that you passed HVP when you got out of the pits, and you got a second and a half, I think, on him. And then it just all started disappearing, and I was like, oh, Azun, I thought you were gonna build up a huge gap.
So
And
I
in
think
fact,
I was initially
yeah.
faster than him, but then I think he like put his head down and he was obviously faster then.
Oh, super unfortunate. I was hoping to see some drama for the championship actually, but anyway, did you ever notice after HVP's pit stop when he was getting held back by Teeves, like around the middle of the race? What was your mindset then? And
Yeah,
also,
so we
why
were
did
in
you
the same
pit so
party.
late?
We were in the same party, and I think I was like I was supposed to come out P3, but I extended for a lap, hoping that fresh hordes would be better at the end of the race. But obviously that didn't work
Oh,
out.
yeah, I think maybe one lap earlier and you would have had a good shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So you and HVP were in the same party?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they always race in the same party. I think at least they have been in the past few races. Nirvan, why don't you start off with HVP and then I'll follow on.
All right, yeah, HVP. What were you thinking, sitting behind Ace and Teeves while they were battling it out for, uh, yeah,
That was a big struggle. Overtaking here is the most difficult thing to do, and I was hoping that I would come in front of Tees, but unfortunately I came behind Ace, and I thought with fresher tires I'll be able to overtake them, in the next lap, but I wasn't able to do that. The overtake on Ace was not that clean, to be honest. I don't know if it was caught on stream or not.
yeah,
It was, it was, it was a dive bomb and a half.
Yeah, it was a dive bomb, and then Tees was right in front of me, and I panicked. Uh, almost got a front wing damage there, but luckily overtook Tees again on the next lap, so all good.
yeah. Good, brilliant bit of driving there from you, and then making up the gap after that. Amazing job. Congratulations on the championship, man. I'll hand it over
Thanks,
to you.
thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
I
HVP,
have a
first of
question.
all, yeah.
After you're done, Malav, after you're done.
No, go on, go ahead.
I mean, I want to ask HVP. I mean, first thing, congrats HVP. And
Thank
the
you.
second question to you is, are you going to D1?
Yes, I am going to T1, but I can't commit myself right now because I have no idea if I'll be available for the next season or not. But I'll
That's fine
definitely
then.
buy the 2021 game. That is for sure.
That's good. Go ahead, Malav.
Right, HVP, first of all, congratulations. Our third different champion of IRL. So, huge props to you. Very, very strong season. Lots of podiums, wins, and poles, including today. So, congratulations on that. And how dare you drive on lean? How dare you?
Well, the answer would be I just wanted Azun to feel how it. No, I just wanted Azun to feel how it feels like to be in the top spot. And
I see how it is.
I'm sorry, Azun. But I told Azun that I'm not pushing and I'll start pushing up the lap 30 or what. But then I had pace before that, so I told him I'll start pushing and attack him. Luckily, I got a place on him on lap 27 or 26. I don't remember now.
I was
Right.
considering taking him out.
You should have. I would have finished
Yeah,
P1.
you could have prayed. You could have prayed. He got taken out while he was behind the likes of Teeves and Ace, and he had quick killer and
Yeah.
I think was it Nishan? No, not someone else behind catching as well. But either ways, also we got to see the beautiful formation where that's how you finished the race.
yes.
Thankfully, we got it on stream
that's
and
pretty
a
bad.
good camera angle where we saw both the championship contenders finishing across the line almost at the same time. So that was really good to see from both of them.
I had front row seat to see that. I was right behind them.
Right. So
Yeah, team
congratulations once again, HVP. Very strong season, and let's hope that you continue with RL for times to come. Now,
Yes.
let's go to Teves then, who
Legend.
has scored his first points of the season on the last race. And what a first stint that was from Teves. You kept the likes of HVP and Ace behind. Definitely Ace for more laps than HVP, but really good first stint. And just talk us through the race and what are you thinking about right now? Describe your emotions.
Oh god, honestly, I literally like that took like that. Felt like I got the life got taken out of me just this whole race, like because that first stint was literally me defending for my life and keeping Ace behind me, like just like I didn't even care that Crazy Mouse and all were like pulling away. I was just focusing on keeping Ace and whoever was behind me, and yeah, it was working. I managed to position the car where I needed to position it so that he couldn't get in front of me, and it was just honestly that first stint was literally the best stint I've ever driven in my life. And then I'm still kicking myself because if I didn't make that, I still have to go back and watch what happened incident where I lost space and I got damage to my front wing. But yeah, if that incident hadn't happened, I'm not going to comment about what happened there because I don't know. Like if it happened in such a blur, I don't know what exactly happened. So I want to watch my stream back and see what actually
Yeah,
happened.
so
there,
are you
but-
referring to your incident with Quick Killer where the two of you came
Yeah,
together
yeah.
and
Yeah, that incident. Yeah, so I want to go back and see what happened there. And then the thing is, the biggest mistake I made in that is because of the way I have my controls on my steering wheel, buttons mapped. I cannot change like stop them from changing my changing the damage wing. So even though I did have little damage to the wing, it wasn't like it did not affect my pace. I still had the pace. I still had control of
Oh,
the car.
that's so
And
unfortunate.
I forgot that I had that when I was going into the pit, so I couldn't change that. And because of that, my pit was longer than it expected because they changed my wings. So yeah, but then towards the end, I was falling back from Space Cadet, but then Space Cadet and Big Booty were fighting, and then Big Booty retired, and then I just suddenly I'm guessing Space had damage, and I was just able to capitalize, dive bombed him cleanly into the chicane, and I got past him and I overtook him on track. So that was a good end, honestly. But yeah, I still can't believe I actually managed to get points.
right, and I think the entire IRL community is actually happy for you, Teves, today. Finally, you do manage to get on the singular point on the last race of the season. So onwards and upwards from here, and let's hope you
Yeah,
come
definitely
back
onwards and
stronger in the
upwards.
next season.
I unfortunately will not be racing full time next season, but whenever I do come back to racing full time, whenever, I cannot wait. More points for sure inbound for me, hopefully.
Absolutely. So that is it in terms of podium interviews. I want to thank Shadow as well, or Nirvan and his rat, for allowing us with some really good comms in this Division 2. I think he joined somewhere in Silverstone. I think that was his first race where he did commentary with us and has been in the comms box almost every other weekend. So it's been really great to have you here, Nirvan. So thank you for joining. Thank you again to all the racers of Division 2, whoever are watching, for putting up a great show. This is the end of Season 2, rather Division 2 in Season 4 of IRL. We have a couple of weeks or maybe a month or so of a break before we start the next season on the new game. But there's something really exciting happening next weekend. So let's hope that we put on a good show there as well, as we try to take on the drivers from Speed Force Racing SFR to in a one-off exhibition race. So do tune in for that one. For anyone who's still listening, do subscribe and keep hit a like if you did. But that's it from the comms box this weekend. This is You Can Beat Me. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the Euros. I really don't know what happened in the Euros. Spain was playing today. Oh my god, I completely missed that.
It's 1-all. It's 1-all in extra time right
By
now.
the way,
Ah,
Teves,
good.
thank
I'll
you
be able
for
to watch it
slowing
then.
down HVP.
I tried. I kept him behind. I managed to keep him behind for one lap.
Is the stream
For one
still on,
lap.
Malav?
Yeah,
The stream is still on. The stream is still
Go follow T-Scal on Twitch.
do follow Team Scal on Twitch and also subscribe to Indian Racing League. 7 subscribers to go before we hit the 100 mark. But this is You Can Beat Me and Nirvan in the comms box. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.